everyone. Liev Schreiber was hospitalized this week after having a headache. And this really got my attention because I get headaches all the time. So, what I want to do is go through an article that talks about what happened. And then I want to give you all some signs when doctors recommend that it's time to go to the emergency room when you have a headache. But before we get into it, let me introduce myself. My name is Tiffany, and this is Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and is not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. So before we get into it, I just want to make a couple of announcements. I've been talking about Meghan and Harry primarily over the last year and a half, and I want to start talking about other things as well. So, what you'll see happening on my channel is I will still continue to cover Harry and Meghan. I will still cover body language, weirdness that I observe in other celebrities. I will still talk about when I see narcissistic behavior and toxic behavior happening and being reported on. But I'm going to have also videos that are going to be added that will include movie reviews, and those I will make a separate playlist for. It'll be called Revealing the Real. Thank you, Chips and Pip and Chips, for that suggestion for the title. And then I want to also do celebrity news, and that celebrity news will go under a playlist called Revealing the Scene. And this will be basically a play on the Hollywood scene. So this article that we're going to talk about will fall into the Revealing the Scene category. I do want to put one plug in here. Michelle and I from Royal Daily Tea, we are doing a weekly collab between now and Christmas where we will review a Christmas movie every week. One for her channel and one for my channel. So that's 2 videos reviews a week. And it's just been really fun. We just recorded one on her channel and one on mine. So I would love it if you would go watch it and let me know what your thoughts are on that. We realized after we recorded that the movies we chose were on Netflix, and not everybody has Netflix. So moving forward, we are going to try to pick things that are available on YouTube so that everybody can watch. And we're going to try to announce this before our recording airs so that everybody has a chance to watch the movie before we publish our review about it. So without further ado, let's get into this article. This article is titled Liev Schreiber Hospitalized in New York After Health Scare. The actor underwent a series of tests on Monday, November 17th, and this article was actually published on November 17th. On Sunday, November 16th, the Ray Donovan star suffered a massive headache and alerted his doctor. The Emmy nominee was instructed to go to the hospital, TMZ reported. He was held overnight and underwent several tests. It remains unclear what has occurred. Out of an abundance of caution, Liev went into the hospital for testing, and as of this afternoon, he has been cleared to return to work, his representative said in a statement to People. So that's a relief that he has been able to be cleared to go back to work. And I will touch on the signs when a physician or a doctor will recommend that you go to an emergency room when you suffer these headaches at the end of this video once we're done going through this article. I get headaches, I want to say like once a week. Sometimes they last 2 or 3 days, which, I mean, if you really think about it, that means half the time of my life I might be having a headache. And for mine, it's on my left side, and it like angles straight up into my temple, and it's throbbing. I think mine has to do a lot with posture. My little 5-pound chihuahua likes to sleep on my neck. So I think it has probably a lot to do with my posture when I'm sleeping because I try to accommodate my little 5-pound dog. Who knew that these little dogs take up so much space? They really do. But I love her. It's not that they take up so much space, it's that they want to be so close to you. And I absolutely adore it. And I love it. And the headaches are worth it, you guys. They're worth it. I want, for my own information, my own peace of mind, I want to know at what point is it at a dangerous degree. I sometimes get one of those, it's a neck wrap, and it's so wonderful. I put it in the microwave. I can't tell yet, though, if it ends up helping me with my headache or if it makes it worse. The way my headaches are is like once it happens, forget it. There's no amount of Advil is going to help it go away. The only thing I can do is just go to sleep, but I usually don't. I usually just continue making videos or record or respond to comments. I really need to learn to practice more self care, which is something that there's a group of us, we're motivating each other to do that. So, shout out to the ladies that are with me on this journey to try to take care of our own health. And remember that the outside world, it's going to be there and it can wait 10 minutes for you to put a face mask on and relax. All right, let's continue the article. The next part that we're going to talk about is a little bit scary. It says in April 2024, the actor said a migraine led to him having temporary amnesia while performing in a Broadway production of Doubt, a Parable. I was in my dressing room and I had a terrible headache, the actor recalled during an appearance on Late Night with Seth Meyers. I thought it was maybe a fast food headache, but it felt a little stronger than that. I'm walking down the stairs and I'm thinking, that is not normal. I don't feel okay. I'm curious to know, do any of you know what a fast food headache is? I don't know what that is. And I remember reading that there was a TikTok trend. And of course, like, do not take this as medical advice. This is something that people were talking about on TikTok, but that McDonald's fries and a Coke really help soothe headaches. Let me know in the comments if you've heard that as well and if it's helped you at all. The article continues and says, however, he suspected something was really wrong when he saw his co star Amy Ryan backstage and couldn't remember her name. While he tried to shake it off, things progressed when he went out on stage and completely forgot his lines. I think, okay, I've had a stroke. This is it, he said. But he got an MRI and it showed that there was no brain bleed and his brain looked perfectly fine. A neurologist then told the actor that he had a condition called transient global amnesia. Okay, so it makes sense why when he had a headache, he did reach out to his physician because, like I was saying, I have headaches all the time and I don't reach out to my physician, but he had a dangerous moment and a diagnosed condition. The article continues and says transient global amnesia is a rare medical condition in which individuals experience a sudden episode of memory loss and confusion, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Triggers of the condition include migraines, physical exertion, intercourse. I don't think I can say the word before that. Having physical relations. I'm going to say that because I don't know what type of words might get me in trouble here on YouTube. Emotional or psychological stress, and sudden immersion in cold or hot water. It is most common in people of middle or older age, and there are no long term effects of the condition. It will resolve itself within 24 hours. Wow, that is so scary. Like, what if you have this short term amnesia and you're not in a place where someone can recognize it and help you if it lasts for 24 hours? I'm glad that he's okay. I'm glad that there is awareness put on this type of condition. I'm sure so many of us struggle with headaches on a weekly basis. So it's important, I think, for us to recognize at what point do we need to seek out more professional and emergency help. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a list of 10 things that if they happen, doctors recommend that you seek emergency care. The first is sudden explosive worst headache of your life. This is the number one don't wait sign. Doctors call it a thunderclap headache and it can mean a brain bleed. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't read this stuff because I know awareness is key, but I know that I have tendencies to overthink things and have anxiety. But I definitely need to be reading this because I need to make sure that I seek out medical care if I really need it. The second one is confusion, disorientation, or memory loss. And this is what happened to Liev during his TGA episode. If you suddenly can't remember things, feel mentally foggy, can't form new memories, go to the emergency room immediately. The third one is weakness, numbness, or trouble speaking. These can be signs of a stroke. The fourth, vision loss or major visual changes, especially sudden blurry vision, double vision, curtain coming down, or loss of part of your field of view. The fifth is a stiff neck and a fever. This can point to meningitis. Number six, a headache after a fall, car accident, or hitting your head, even hours later because internal bleeding can be delayed. Number seven, a headache that gets worse and worse over hours, especially if it's paired with nausea or vomiting. Number eight, a headache and extremely high blood pressure. This can be a hypertensive emergency. Number 9, a new headache pattern you've never had before. New type, new location, new intensity. If you have any of these, it's worth evaluating. And finally, headaches that wake you up from sleep repeatedly, especially if the pressure feels worse when you're lying down. So, after reading this, I actually did purchase a blood pressure monitor on Amazon. It arrives on a Thursday, so 2 days from now. I do want to see if there's any correlation between my blood pressure and when I get these headaches, but I don't know that it's related because I literally feel like the muscles in my neck are tense when it happens, and it's only on my left side. I think I just prefer maybe one side over the other, and that leads to tension in my neck. So, anyways, I'm sorry that I have been talking about my own struggles. I just thought while I'm doing research on this, it might be interesting to share it with any of you and see it might be helpful to anybody else. Well, I want to thank you so much for watching. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I'd like to ask that in lieu of super chats and super stickers, if you would kindly consider donating to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their information is on the screen should you need to reach out to them, and a link to donate is in the description of this video. It was brought to my attention that this organization is only in the United States, so at the end of this video, there are going to be 3 different images that will show up that list different organizations in other countries. There will be contact information if you need assistance, and there will also be their website where you can find links to donate. Again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.